I spent some time looking at a BBC video that talked about the animal. Why the animal, you might ask? Well, you must understand that life is not just about human being. There are a lot of animals with which we are cohabiting in the world, and sometimes we need to learn from them, and this includes the way they behave, the way they coordinate, and the way they are able to define common enemy and also make friends. Why not? I know that in the food chain, we like to pride ourselves as the most intelligent, the strongest, the smartest, and that is how we have been able to build the metropolis that we have today, from New York to Paris to London to Lagos to Johannesburg or to Cairo. Well, at the center of this is actually the story. What about story is controlling us? Of course, we are not the animal, but by mere observation, we can actually see that there is a lot of commonality that we can derive paying attention to what is everywhere around us. You see, as a child growing up in Uromi, which is the south of Nigeria, I have always been fascinated observing nature. In our place, we have ants, or what the Nigerian will call the soldier ants. In my language, it's called omumu. They are tiny ants, which were really very powerful. Their power is derived not from their individual ants, but from the colony of ants. In that when they organize themselves, they can literally drive you away from the house. So what does that tell us about the possibility of collaboration? What does that tell us about being able to work together? You might look at this from the point of view of Africans that are in Africa, who despite the fact that we have all the resources around us, we are not able to leverage that resources for our own good. Instead, most of us are scattered all over the world looking for a job in Europe and America. But what happened to us? What about the resources that are all available in Africa, from Sierra Leone to Nigeria, from Congo to South Africa, Egypt, Sudan, Senegal, Ivory Coast? All those resources that we have, what happened to them? How come we can manage to organize this and live with it so that our life can be the way we want it? What kind of story are we telling ourselves? But maybe we might be able to learn if we pay attention to other animals that are living with us, to see that they don't need to travel somewhere to be able to learn. They simply tap into their record of evolution, what their ancestors have told them of where they are coming from. Maybe this can help us to live better, because now we understand who we are, how to live better lives, because we're able to use our story for our own good. We know what our common enemies are, and we know what our friends are too. We know this by tapping into the power of story, the record that have been laid down by our ancestors. We don't need another person to come and tell us who we are. We are supposed to know this. The evidence is all around us. The question is, are we paying attention? Are we paying attention to be able to read the signs of time everywhere, on the leaves, in the mountains, in the river, on top of the trees, and the culture that have been left behind, what they have created, our ancestors who have been here before us? Because we must understand who we are and how we can defend ourselves when the time comes. We can't simply wait for other people to come and defend us. That is not how nature works. Every people were supposed to defend themselves. And this also includes the Africans in the diaspora. We are hundreds of millions of people. But can we organize ourselves? Can we define our common interest and able to say, this is what we represent? This is who we are. We have a common interest to defend. We have a people to take care of. You see, the bee that you are seeing, each of them is actually worthless if you were to consider them as each. But when they form a colony, as a colony, you cannot penetrate it. If as big as you are as a human being, if you find yourself in there and you remain there, you will literally die, and they will eat every part of you. The power is not in the individual. The power is in all of us. I like to remind us that there is none of us that is bigger than all of us. There is none of us that is more intelligent than all of us. There is none of us that is richer than all of us. So that the idea of the strong man, as often seen in Africa, where you say that is a strong man, is not working for us. It's time we understand that. What we need to do is to create strong people, a people who are able to defend themselves when the enemy comes. If that people are not strong, if all we can do is to create strong individual, maybe strong man in the midst of millions of people, that strong man can always be taken down any day, any time. But if the people are strong, if they pull their efforts together, if in Nigeria, for example, the people can realize that they need light, and if all the effort are put together by the people of Nigeria, over 200 million people, then light will come, because the people are strong, the people are smart, the people are powerful, because you are leveraging the effort of the group. Are we learning from it? Are we learning from nature? Are we learning from the signs of time? They are everywhere all around us. It's up to us to learn. Because if we fail to learn, we will already have prepared our demise. So the message I want to pass to us, talking about this ant, talking about the soldier ant in my place, roaming, or any other type of animal actually, for that matter, is that these animals are able to survive because of the knowledge of themselves, because they know who they are. They are leveraging their story for their collective survival. They know who they are, and they know how to defend themselves against the enemy. They are not confused. The ants are not doing the work of the bears, because the bears are different from the ants. The ants are doing the work of the ants. They know how to defend their territory. They know who among themselves to call for a specific job. Can we do the same? Can we learn from them? We don't need to go to Harvard University to learn this. If you are somewhere in Ivory Coast, the knowledge for you to survive as an Ivorian is already buried within you in your culture. The question is, are you learning, or are you hoping to learn from France? Because France and Ivory Coast are two animals in the forest. Maybe you are a Nigerian and you think that you cannot resolve the problem of light, because I'm just using light as an example because it affects every part of Nigeria. It affects our economy. It affects how we are able to stand up in the world, because in the beginning was the light. if we cannot even fathom the idea of generating light for ourselves, we are in the dark, then we cannot talk. So somewhere in Nigeria, if you are the one thinking that your solution is going to come from Europe, that the America will come to resolve your problem for you, you will never move anywhere. The solution to Nigerian problem is buried inside the problems of Nigeria. The question is, are we learning? Are we willing to learn, to pay attention to the stories of our ancestors? Are we willing to pay attention to where we are coming from, to who we are, to what makes us a people? Because that is how we are able to survive in the world and stand for ourselves, defend our territory, able to project a reality for ourselves that we are a people. This is what we represent. This is the interest we defend. This is what we need in this world. Nobody is coming to do that for us. Only us can do it for ourselves. Rely on our collective interest. Because all the information we need are within us. But are we paying attention? Are we learning? Are we listening? No one is coming to do this for us. But if we cooperate, if we collaborate, if we work together, all of us can survive. All of us will be able to defend the territory. We'll be able to provide food for our population. We'll be able to provide jobs. We'll be able to give meaning to our existence. Because it depends on us as a people to build our future, to create our reality, and to say this is what we stand for. As a people, as a group of people, if we pull our efforts together and we know where we are going, nothing can stop us. I repeat, nothing can stop us. But if we are only individual, if we are only few of us trying to be the strong man at the expense of the majority, then the end for us has come. So let's work together. Let's understand our collective interest. Because when we do, we can take down any enemy. We can build ourselves, and we can become truly a force in the world. I believe you get the message. If you do, please pass it on.